Oh, something turned around. Oh.
Hey guys, it's Avery, and I am here with Matthew Daddario and Alberto Rosende from Shadowhunters, aka Alec and Simon. And they're here to talk about Season 2 of Shadowhunters, which premieres January 2nd on Freeform. So, everyone is saying Season 2 is going to be darker, so expand on that a little bit.
Well, we think that in general, what were we saying earlier? The issue.
The issue with that is we don't want to, tonally it may be because of what happens, but it's more, darker's not as specific as we'd like to be. You get to go deeper into each character's journey. We kind of ground it a little more in
reality. Look, the first season, the Shadowhunters had control of their world, and in general, the enemies were sort of on the run, or they were sort of hiding in the shadows. In the second season, the Shadowhunters are actually struggling far more than everybody else.
Yeah.
And their kind of weaknesses are revealed and definitely exploited. Downworlders do quite a good job of causing trouble for people. So does Valentine and the rest of the merry band of monsters.
And then because of what's going on around like the story, each character kind of has to attach themselves to like their relationships. Their relationships become more important. Maybe not more important, but they become like maybe their main focus, other than what they're trying to do for the entire world. You get to see a little bit more of that play out, like who they care about, what they care about.
Yeah, and like the missions don't become quite as clear. Like everybody's sort of struggling with their own personal issues.
Yeah.
It's
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. And so, everything sort of fell apart at the end of the last season, except for a few instances. Jace is with Valentine now.
Yeah.
Simon's a vampire, and it's a lot to deal with. So tell me a little bit about Simon and how he's going to be adjusting to being a vampire in Season 2.
In essence, he kind of goes back to being in the same place as the beginning of Season 1, where he was trying to find his place and find out who he was with this new group of people. He's doing it again now.
Oh man, in the first 4 episodes, I forgot about all that stuff. I've been hearing you talk about it. I'm like, what is he talking? Oh yeah, there's some really, you get,
No, it's like a really hard world for him now. He's trying to figure out how to be a vampire in this new circumstance with no place to go. How he's going to deal with his family.
Gross?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he has to, in order to survive in the mundane world, he has to take steps to ensure that people don't get hurt. Okay. Or to ensure that he can try to live as normally as possible, but that proves very difficult when you're a vampire who can't eat other than blood, who can't go out in the sun, who can't have a normal life.
Right.
In a world where the people that you love that don't know of the shadow world expect that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to, disappoint his mom by being a vampire.
Yeah. He doesn't know. He knows what that revelation was for him, and that was him. He can't imagine what the people he loves would know. He was this monster that he found out about. He goes through a lot.
Simon's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
So for Alec, now that Jace is with Valentine, what kind of struggles can we expect to see from him?
Well, obviously Alec is not a huge fan of that. At the end of the season, though, I'm sure that he sort of questioned if Jace was going for some ulterior motive, or if he in fact was interested in sort of meeting his potential father. And so that causes him a lot of stress, and the first 3 episodes or so are sort of heavily focused on him working that out, and he makes some sort of bad decisions along the way to solve that missing Jace problem. But then it works itself out, or does it? Who really knows? Because by episode 4, everything's a mess.
Everything's a mess.
A mess again. I mean,
this season really is like, it's a lot for every character. Everyone kind of, it's not, I don't know how to say it without saying anything, but it's a lot. It's very heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody really gets a break.
No.
You can't catch a break. If you're a Shadowrunner especially,
Simon gets a break.
Yeah, Simon gets
a bit of a break.
Some things go well for Simon.
Yeah.
But not for Alec?
Alec, it depends how you look at it. There's one aspect that goes quite well, but it requires a lot of effort and work. But by doing that, he's sort of missing out on other elements of his life. Because you know how people are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like someone you love. Somebody you got like a squeeze.
Me?
Yeah. You got some lady, some man. You got somebody?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Well, I mean, so she is available, but that's the struggle she's going through. So when she's looking for that, she's probably not paying enough attention at work, or maybe not paying enough attention to her mom. She doesn't call her mom enough. Who knows? It's varied. It's problems.
Well, one important person in Alec's life is Magnus. So, and everybody wants to know more about Malik. So, what can you tease about their relationship?
As I've said, and I will say again, it's very. Alex spends the first half of season 2 very heavily focused on working that relationship out, and maybe as a result of that, misses out on some other things. But nothing's really more important than finding out. You have to sometimes focus on that aspect of your life, or else you'll never really be happy. So.
True.
Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah.
So would you say Malik fans will be happy with what happened in season 2?
As I said, season 1, they're not going to be disappointed.
So another big fandom is Simon and Clary.
Yeah.
Could they go there in season 2? Do you want to see that happen?
Well, I think part of Simon discovering this new vampirism within him is finding that strength that vampires have. And it's a big risk for him to do that, because in trying to take that step, he knows he could ruin that whole relationship, everything they have. If he really goes there, he could lose Clary, and that's something that is always on the forefront of his mind.
I think Simon loves Clary, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that Simon lets her off easy. I think you're just so blinded by
No,
love.
Absolutely.
Because I mean,
She completely ruined his life.
Yeah,
and he was able to really forgive that very, very quickly. It was in a second. It was in the same scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate you anymore. I'm just mad.
I'm just mad about this, but you know what?
I'll get over it. I have to drink blood for the rest of my life. Can't really talk to anyone during the day. Can't really see any sunsets or
But I
sunrises.
love you.
But you know what? We can hang out at night and see movies. So
And also to help you. when
pizza
you need
delivery is
me.
better after the dark. So
And she doesn't really. Does she come to help? I want people after season 2 is over. I want you to review the nature of Clary's relationship with Simon and see if Simon really is getting the raw end of that deal. I don't know if he is.
You don't seem to be a Clary fan.
Alec is not.
Alec is not a Clary fan.
And then maybe
Matthew
he
doesn't seem to
is.
be.
Oh, I do these interviews as Alec.
Oh.
I think.
Well, I think we always do interviews kind of from our character's
Point of
perspective.
view.
Yeah.
It's very hard to separate from that after hanging out with them for
I
7
would
months.
never take Simon's point of view. It would just never happen.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
And I would.
I can't see you taking Alec's point of view. It would be too difficult.
It'd be very
We spend
difficult.
5 months arguing for our position, so it's like a little bit like I'm not gonna defend the vampire.
I'm not going to defend the
Alec.
Shadowhunter that has everything because there's Shadowhunters
Oh,
and they're in
screw
charge,
that.
and
That's not
downrollers
true.
have to figure everything out, and there's a whole other.
It's tough being a Shadowhunter. Don't you know?
Yeah, it is. And it's tough being a vampire,
It's tough
too.
being a vampire, especially vampire politics, which we learned.
Oh, but you get to live on like the outskirts of society. We have to work within this ridiculous regimented regime.
Not by choice. Like Simon gets kicked out, so Simon can't live with the other vampires. They don't like him.
Yeah, but it makes you like a wild man. Like
Yeah,
Mad Max.
but then he has to hang out with like werewolves for a bit, and they're not
I
very
don't see the
friendly.
problem with this. You're hopping
They're
around.
not cool. They're
Yeah,
not
they
cool
are.
with him. They're like,
They are cool with you eventually.
hopefully, yeah, they get there, but it takes a lot. It's not like Simon's always cool, so they're always just kind of annoying.
It's tough out there to be a Shadowhunter.
It's just
And
tough
you know,
out there.
It's tough out there.
It's
Just
tough.
no one gets a
Rough
break
world.
this season. No one really has it easy at all. Everyone has their own personal demons.
That's
they have to
life.
fight.
That is
Yeah,
life. That's
that's
life.
life.
That's really what they should be saying. We're not going to say it's darker. We're just saying that it's a better representation of real life, where everything at every turn just makes things more and more difficult.
More
And there's no
complicated.
real break. And you just struggle and you struggle, and eventually maybe you'll find little moments where you can be happy or things will work out, but they're just temporary. It's fleeting. Every moment of goodness. In
But
your
those
life.
moments are so great that you fight for them every single chance you get.
That's right, and that's what
That's-
you do. That's
that's
the purpose
life.
of life there. So Shadowhunters represents life almost perfectly.
We just have supernatural elements that make it seem a little more.
Heightened.
Yes.
Everything's
Heightened's a good word.
So, Maya is a big character in the
Yes.
books,
Yes.
and she is going to be in season 2.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about that, and what can we expect from Simon and Maya's
We know
relationship?
Simon and Maya have a cool relationship in the books.
Yeah.
They get along really well. Simon finds another downroller who kind of understands his journey in the sense that she wasn't before, gets turned into a werewolf and kind of has to figure out her place. So that's where her and Simon really connect. And it's something that even it causes tension for Clary because Simon finds this other person that he can really confide in and find.
Jealous.
Yeah, she gets a little jealous.
Oh
But-
yeah,
But
I forgot about all that.
also, one thing I think is cool about a lot of the downrollers is how important the other downrollers are. Like their own species of downrollers are. So that creates tension when it comes time to fight who do you fight for? Just making sure your own species can survive, making sure the rest of the world. It's a whole thing. And Maya's a really fun character. I think the fans are really going to enjoy seeing it.
Oh, they're gonna love Maya.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I've read that Magnus is going to be sort of taking Simon under his wing.
Well, not out of his choice.
Okay.
But Magnus doesn't really do a lot of things out of like.
Oh.
He
Magnus
sort
is
of
really
does-
cool.
sort of
You get to
pops
learn.
around.
You get to learn more about Magnus's history.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in that, you get to see why he's kind of okay with giving Simon more advice and kind of helping Simon out in this new world.
Simon taking time with my man. That's not.
Yeah. How's Alec gonna feel about that?
I don't know. Alec doesn't really get a chance to interact with Simon. Do I have
No,
a single conversation with you the entire season?
We were in the same room like twice.
So that's a missed opportunity because
Yeah.
I definitely think that I could be hating on you a little bit.
I could just be
I'd
like-
to see that.
Why is this guy so charming? All the time.
Yeah, so charming.
So
What a
charming.
lovely Alex, so lovely.
He always wants me gone. He always treats me with like, you know what? It's been great to have you, but you should go.
See, this is the thing. You know what it is? We can't possibly. There's so much going on that you can't possibly have everybody interact. So maybe second half they'll try and incorporate.
Well, it's also because of where our priorities are. As a Shadowhunter, and then with Magnus, your priorities are different than
Yeah,
Simon
I'm
as a
focused on
downroller and a
other things.
vampire, and then Clary is one of his priorities. And
Yeah.
we're constantly. That's one thing that's cool is a lot of the paths don't cross or everyone's kind
All
of
over the
focused
place.
on their own journey.
You know what we haven't talked about? We haven't talked about Alder Tree.
Alder Tree's cool.
I think that the girls are gonna love Alder Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Please elaborate.
Alder Tree is a interloper, but very sexy interloper.
Smooth.
Okay.
Smooth talking British man.
But he's a representative of the Clave. And he has more of their ideals,
Yeah.
which creates a lot of tension.
Yeah, look, I'm thinking that we're underselling Alder Tree. I think Alder Tree is going to be a fan favorite.
I think so too.
Isaiah, Alder Tree, Alec, Magnus.
And Simon will just stay up there.
And Simon can just hang out in a hole somewhere.
I'd really like to
Canoe.
I
see.
think he does.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see a Simon and Alec bromance happen eventually.
That'll never.
That won't happen.
Disgusting. Yeah, idea.
And that's why.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
Not like relationship, just like a bromance.
No, that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying.
Which is-
Absolutely not. They're never gonna get
They
along.
just don't have the same drives.
Yeah.
They do, but they operate them in very different ways. So maybe we'll come to respect each other. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt likes the
settle for
idea.
that.
Alex is a huge fan.
Yeah.
So how would you describe the second season in 3 words?
Yeah. You're gonna break it down in 3 words.
I would say bloody.
We can go to
Bloody.
5.
Oh yeah, bloody.
I would say bloody. I would say heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
Okay.
And always, what do we say at the end? We say what
I know that
sexy. We say
sexy.
We say sexy.
Oh, it's
Still very sexy.
yeah, very sexy.
Still sexy.
Sexier than the first season?
Yes.
I would say.
I would say
Oh.
sexier than the first season for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure. For sure.
Well, it's going to be sexy for show. You heard it here first. Well, thank you guys so much for talking to me today. I'm so excited to see the second season. And remember, guys, Shadowhunters Season 2 premieres January 2nd.